Welcome to Namaste with Renee. I'm your host, Renee Marcou, an award-winning female entrepreneur, life success and empowerment coach, and professional singer. And in this podcast, we share ways to empower you to live with more inner peace and happiness. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Namaste with Renee, the podcast to help you bring more happiness, peace, and unlimited possibilities into your life. I'm here with an amazing friend of mine who I think our relationship, it started at least 15 years ago, and she's an amazing woman. I can't wait to introduce you to her. So without further ado, I will. She is Pat Bateson. She is an author, an energy healer. She's a spiritual teacher and a firewalker. She was absolutely one of my spiritual teachers as well. So it's truly an honor to have you here, Pat. She's actually walked on a bed of hot coals. So maybe she's going to talk a little bit more about that today and firewalking and what that means to her. Pat offers her life experiences, wisdom, and practical tools to those who seek a path of wholeness. And if I was to receive a call from anybody saying, hey, I'm really looking for some wholeness in all of my mind, body, spirit, and expanding in my spirituality, Pat would be one of the first people to come to mind. She believes that change and growth are always possible. She inspires others to live in the moment and live each day with gratitude, grace, and a sense of wonderment, just like a child. So welcome to the show, Pat. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your time here with me today.
Oh, it's my honor and privilege to be here today with you, Renee. I'm so grateful and so delighted to have this time to spend and talk about whatever it is that comes up for us today. So, thank
Yes.
you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. You're such a light. And I know that everybody who's here watching is just already feeling into your energy. And I just feel like we could go in so many different directions and what we share. So if you're okay with it, I'm just going to be an open vessel and just see what source wants you to share.
I'm good with that. Let's do
All
it.
right, awesome. So we'll tell everybody, if you wouldn't mind, where you were at in the world and maybe how you and I connected way back in the day.
Wow. Yeah. Like you said, it was, I think, at least 15 years ago. I had a metaphysical kind of a office bookstore, whatever. And we just instantly had this energetic vibration connection.
Yeah.
Um, and we just connected immediately and have remained friends ever since. And I think it was a vibration of love because you are love and light. And I hope that I am that as well. And we just connected and we could literally, like you said, sit and talk about anything. And it could be angels, it could be spirituality, personal growth, consciousness, it could be anything. And we were never without conversation because we had this deep rich soul connection, I believe, that still keeps us moving and grooving and together today. So that's how I think it all began for us. It's
Yes.
a soul connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know like over the years, I've come to you for different relationship healings and advice. I've come to you for an amazing workshop that you guided me toward for forgiveness with the essential oils. I know essential oils are a huge part of your life, and you got me into them as well. Gosh, probably 10 years ago, maybe about now. And yeah, you're such a light. You're such a mentor for me too, always. I always enjoy everything that you've shared with me. So let's share some of you with everybody in the tribe. So I know that I had mentioned you're an author. So will you dive down that path? Let us know what book you've written and where your inspiration came from.
Sure. Well, I've got the book right here.
Oh, beautiful.
Feeling.
Firewalk.
So it is titled Firewalk, Transcending the Fear, Awakening to Love, which is really about my journey to my true authentic self. And so I like to say that it is part memoir because it is part of my story, my journey. And then it's so much more than that. It's tools, it's guidance, it's all of these different philosophies that have come together for me on my journey to come back to my true authentic self, which I believe is love. Um, and through that, it's how I got from point A to point B and everything in between, which is all about the inspiration and the empowerment and what I learned to get to this place where I am today, which I feel I am more my true, raw, vulnerable, authentic self, shining this light through for others to see so that they can become that. They are that. It's a, see, I already hear the angels talking to me. It's a remembering. It's
Yeah.
a remembering of the goodness and grace and joy and love that we are. And that's what my book is about, to move beyond the fear into the love. And it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you don't go back and forth sometimes, but you have the tools, you have the guidance, you have the inner wisdom. You learn to trust yourself and your higher power so much more, that no matter what's happening in your life, you will move through it in the
Yeah.
most beautiful ways.
Yes, absolutely. That has been a theme and a talk that keeps coming into my mind this week, is to keep reminding everybody in my tribe that it is about divine connection to a source, however you like to describe it, whether you say the universe, God, goddess, all that is, Buddha, higher self, higher power,
Mhm.
whatever feels right, right? And just having that bond and connection, allowing yourself to lean in, especially even when times are going great, like
Mhm.
still keeping that open, beautiful, divine connection. So my question for you, Pat, now is, what was the inspiration for you to write a book? What was underneath it for you?
That's really an interesting question, Renee. I think for me, what really catapulted me was my journey through breast cancer.
Mm,
I kept a journal during that time, and I journaled about anything and everything, the gratitude, the blessings, the scary times. Um, it was just a way for me to heal myself emotionally, to let things out that I wanted to say and write on paper, to write down on paper the things that I was grateful for. And so many of those writings became part of my book. And
mm, mhm.
it just really, it just came together as this beautiful chapter after chapter of some of my experiences that really helped me, I believe, to self heal. I looked at my emotions, I looked at my thoughts, my mental. It was like I had all these little pieces that I could put together and look at that helped me end up healing my body physically.
Wow.
It was absolutely amazing to then go back and look at this and put it together and say, wow, look at where I was then, and look at all the things I did, the inner work that I did to help my body return to wellness, to wholeness, to alignment, which is again the truth of who we are.
Yes.
So that's kind of how my book came together, and the chapter on gratitude and blessings. And I know I talk about those words a lot, but they have vibration to them, they have energy to them, which really can go into the law of attraction and the manifestation piece and everything. But I truly believed that by journaling, and when I look back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I wrote about that. Look at that, and look at what has transpired since then. I really think that going in and doing that was such a catharsis and healing for me. And so beautiful to go back and look at now. And then it just all was like, this needs to go in this chapter. And it just all fell into place for me. Really,
That
really.
is incredible.
Mhm.
So every piece of the journey, like, was that the first time that you actually started journaling as much as you did? Like when you first found out about having breast cancer in your body?
Yes, it was, because um, there was some things that I just didn't know what to do with, and I didn't know who to share it with. And to put it on paper was like, I could trust this place and I could say whatever I wanted. And
Yeah.
I knew that I had this, it was almost became my confidant that I could share anything with, and it felt safe to do so. So for people who don't, they're not sure, and then I ended up having mentors and teachers and all of that. But when I didn't know what to do with things, it was like, get it out on paper, because you
Mm,
don't keep that stuff inside of you. It's not healthy. So
exactly.
I had that pen and paper, and I picked out a beautiful pen and a beautiful journal, and I just started writing and writing and writing, and I couldn't believe what was coming out of me.
Wow.
some things that were needed to come out and some things that just even bring me to tears today. It was such beauty
Yeah.
about life and everything that I was so grateful for. So that's really the first time that I really think I poured my heart and soul out on
Yeah.
paper. And I truly believed and I know that it helped my body to heal and get well.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a huge advocate for writing. I've kept a journal, I think, since I kept a journal as a kid too, but I think I really poured it out since I was 18, really understanding how important that is to not keep any type of energy that could really become a threat to your well-being within.
Mhm.
And I'm a person too, like as much as I am out there and I allow myself to be visible in the world, I am more on the shy side. So like I like to share my stories or my true feelings and thoughts on paper where I don't worry about the fact of if what I'm writing is this going to be okay and acceptable to anybody else. It's like I pour it out and I literally nowadays will write to the universe. Like I literally will say, thank you, universe, or go into a whole like situation like, okay, universe, like by the end of this page, I want to have figured out why this attraction came into my life or why this manifested in this specific way, whether the results were how we would call it positive or negative, right? It's
Yeah.
all positive, but in the moments when you feel, wow, this feels like a tough emotion, or this feels like something harder to go through, right? Because we do shine with the writing. I do feel like that we do shine a light on the
Mhm.
darker parts of us, that the shadows we don't really want to see or remember every day, because it can bring up painful emotions. And I think having a journal is amazing. I tell all of my clients to have a journal, and even people I just speak to random. I think it's amazing. And look at what your journal did. It literally became a book.
Changed my life. It really
Changed your
changed.
life.
It changed my life. It changed who I became.
Yeah.
Um, it was just like all I can say is it's like I became free. I was letting out and letting go of anything that was holding me down, holding
Mm,
me back from the
yeah.
truth of who I was. And when I did that, it was like I felt freer, I felt lighter, and
Yeah.
I really remembered who I was. And when you do that, I believe we were all here to touch and inspire each other. I really do. And so when I could do that, it was like I have now walked the walk. And now this is what I have done. Take bits and pieces. I'm not saying this is for everybody. Take bits and pieces. If it works for you, you'll know, you'll feel it. You'll feel
Right.
it and
Right.
go with it. So this book has allowed me to really be who I am fully and completely, and just to share it. And for those that it resonates with, it just will, because that's the energy of how it works. So
Exactly, for sure. And you call upon in your book the people who are meant to read it too, who need that extra piece. And like you said, it's like you take what feels right for you and you leave the things that don't. And that's how I always like to share with people too. Like, if even what I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, that's not for you. Take
yeah,
what does and let that become part of your existence in some way, shape, or form, right?
exactly.
Um, so when it comes to your book, I know when you first published it, I got a copy. So I honestly think it's like 10 years ago. When did you write this book?
6 years. It
Six
came out.
years. Okay. It felt longer to me for some reason, but maybe it was that period of growth. So 6 years it's been since
Mhm.
it's been published. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
it's still, I bring it to workshops. When I share classes, I share about it. And I'm just so honored that it's touched so many people's lives. They've commented, they've sent me messages, and it could be a particular chapter, and it could be the whole book. And it just touches my heart every time, that I hear that it's given somebody insight or perspective, or ways to look at things differently. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to do it. And it's part of the journey. I think I've always been a teacher because I was a nurse.
Mm,
That was my background. And I think I've always been a teacher, and then it just shifted and changed in a different way. And so I'm grateful. I know I'm a teacher and I will be forever. And I'm so grateful that I have some things that can share and help somebody. Because I that's another thing. I've always been here to help and heal. A nurse always and ever, forever. And I'm always just here to help in whatever way I can on whatever level.
Yes, absolutely. Have you ever done, I know I've done workshops with you before. Have you ever done workshops based off of your book?
I have not. I have done workshops with pieces of my book. Well, yeah,
Mhm.
I guess with pieces of my book. So I guess maybe that I have. It hasn't been the whole book, but it's bits and pieces that I've pulled out of it. I do one on forgiveness, which
Yeah.
is beautiful because forgiveness is giving ourselves freedom.
Mm.
And I do ones on self love because I just see so many people who need the reminder of the love that they are. So I do workshops on self love and remembering that the love that you are, and that's a fun, playful workshop. Um, and so I think that I do things that have, again, I can only teach what I've learned and what resonates with me. And
Mhm.
so I think the forgiveness one is key. And I'm actually doing one on that in about a week. And
Awesome.
the self love and the truth, standing in your power and speaking your truth, because that's been one of the lessons on my journey is
Mm.
learning to stand in my power and speak my truth, have boundaries. Yes, this is okay. No, this is not okay. And know that it's okay to say that because
Yeah.
I didn't always think that way. I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that way. So,
Could I ask you something about that?
mhm,
So, what was plus is your process of setting boundaries?
mhm. Well, I listen to my inner gut a lot, my wisdom within me, and we all have this. But I know that if something doesn't feel right to me, I'm very much a feeling person. If
Mhm.
something doesn't feel right for me in my body, I really tune into that and listen to that because I didn't always do that.
Mm.
For
Okay.
me is key is to tune in. Does this feel right? Does it not? If it doesn't, I need to step back, maybe journal about it a little bit, pray upon it a little bit, ask my angels, my higher power source about it. If it feels right, take another step, move forward. You
Mhm.
know, there's choices. We just because I go this way, tomorrow I can go this way.
Mhm.
Um, so it's for me, it's really listening to my goddess within and what feels
Mhm.
right to her and
Yeah.
really trusting. And that's a process of learning to trust. And the more you trust, the more you will be shown because we are, as you talk about always so beautifully, Renee, co-creating with the universe. So when I really open up and start to trust the guidance that comes to me from the universe and trust my own inner guidance, we make a magnificent team
Mm.
and lean and move in and move forward with our lives because we are co-creating and we are trusting the innate wisdom that we have within us. And when you do that, it's like the world opens up to you. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it really does. It
Mhm.
really does. And, I think so many times we can sometimes get stuck in the idea of what if we draw this boundary? What does that mean to other people? Or what
Mhm.
does that mean in how I'm existing in the world now? But I think when we, like you said, when you have that connection to source, whatever way, shape, or form it looks like to you,
Mhm.
you have that trust and you get to lean into the trust. And then you know that you're being guided by the most divine, gorgeous, beautiful, badass, whatever type of energy
Right,
light that you believe
exactly.
in.
Yes, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
and that's another thing that's a really great point you're making is, I mean, I've learned that it's okay. Some people have fallen away.
Yeah.
Um, some family have fallen away. Your tribe can be, doesn't have to be your immediate family. It can be
Yes.
anybody and everybody that you vibe with, that you feel safe with, protected, supported, loved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't always have boundaries and I was like, whoa, baby. And then I've had opportunities to like, this isn't going to work for me. You
Mm.
not like it, but it feels right to me. That's okay. I
Yeah.
didn't used to think that was okay. It is okay because I have to do what is best for me now
Yeah.
and honor and listen to myself first. So if I have boundaries up and others don't like it, I honor that. That's okay. And I let go of the attachment to that. And
Mm.
it's all beautiful. And that allows everybody to have their own journey because we are all here on our own journeys, here to learn different things.
Yeah.
So that has been really a big lesson for me. I think this year is the letting go and letting God goddess. and allowing others to have their journey and just remaining neutral with it. I don't have to fix, change, or control anybody.
Right.
Allow others to have their journey and still do me.
That is so beautiful. I was going to actually ask you, how do you do that so people can really lean into and understand, but you've already answered that. And it
Mm-hmm.
is okay for
Yeah.
relationships to change and shift and become okay, cool. Like we both got what we needed out of this relationship. It's okay to move forward
Mm-hmm.
without feeling anything other than acceptance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
with that too, I feel like when you honor that light within you, right? Because we have that magnet within ourselves as to who we attract in our lives.
Mhm.
We also get to attract more of the like-minded people as well. The people who are on a similar journey or who resonate with your message or
Mhm.
who know how to lovingly push you toward creating a new goal or achieving other things in life that, is important to you. And what a blessing. What a blessing.
It really is, and then it gets fun. Then
Yeah.
it's fun because you never know what people, places, or things are going to crop up, or you're going to
Yeah.
meet or visit, and it just gets really fun and delightful and playful, which again is how life can be and should
Yes.
be for us. It's like
Yes.
the angels always say, get out of the way and be childlike with awe and wonderment and everything, because despite what is going on around us, life can still be fun and joyous and playful and all of that. It really, really can be. But
Yeah.
again, self-care and the self-love and boundaries and all of those things are really important. It's a daily self-care practice, this work. But
Yes.
you do it, I mean, your life is unfolding and has been unfolding so magnificently, it's because we're taking care of ourselves. We're doing our work,
Yeah.
whatever that is for us daily. Yoga for me, it is meditation, prayer, doing the things that keep me grounded and centered and just then able to transmit that out into the world. It's gorgeous.
So beautiful, Pat. Again, I was going to ask you that question and I didn't even have to. You're telepathically hearing me and you're just being that beam of light that you are and shouting your love.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I was going to say like about, like your childlike ways, like self-care, self-love, super important. That has to be at the top of your list before
Mhm.
you break into anything else in the day, and even if, okay, cool, like one day I can't get to it until the evening. All right. Well, just really holding yourself accountable for really loving and valuing yourself to make sure that you do something that feels good for you. And it's one of those things too, it's especially with meditation, because I teach meditation. People think that some people think that it has to be this whole big chunk of the day and it has to be this look a certain way. And it's really about taking 5 minutes
Mhm.
and shifting the energy for the entire day as to how you want it to be. It
Mhm.
can be that quick and it
Mhm.
can happen in a nanosecond.
Right. Right.
It and in self-love will look different for everybody, right? But I
Mhm.
love how you said your self-love routine is incorporating yoga into your day.
Yes.
How are you practicing, like weekly, every other day? Like what's your normal right now?
Yoga is probably 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah.
Wow, Pat, that's amazing.
I find such peace there, and that you can meditate while you're doing yoga. That's a meditation practice right there. And
Absolutely.
that is part of my, yeah. So 4 to 5 times a week, I would say.
Yeah.
And sometimes I practice Vipassana meditation, which is another kind of meditation. And like you said, it can be an hour, it can be 10 minutes, it can be 2 minutes. But
Exactly.
it's almost like you start to tell yourself, I'm putting aside this 2 minutes of time, this 10 minutes of time for yourself. And yourself says, oh, wow, she's really thinking of me. He's really thinking of me. And you start to have this relationship with yourself that I'm really important. You're really important. You're taking this little piece of time to just quiet yourself and remember yourself. And I think that just starts this process almost of then it becomes more of a ritual because you feel the benefits of it and you want more of it. And it's
Yeah,
nothing but positive and goodness for yourself.
it
And
is.
that's how it starts. So, no, it doesn't have to be long increments of your day, and it doesn't have to be in the morning or at night. Whenever you can fit it in is absolutely perfect for you that day.
Yes.
It's letting yourselves off the hook with has to be, should do. Let's
Mm,
now. Okay, let's do it now, So we're letting
yeah.
go of a lot of old limited beliefs and thoughts of how things should be and
Yes.
doing it in the moment to moment, what works for you. And your gut says, I need this now. Okay. I mean, I used to go in the bathroom at work sometimes and do things in the bathroom, like just a little mantra or a little affirmation or a little breath work
Yes.
before I go back to my job again. It can be so everybody can do it. Everybody
Yes.
can do it
Yes.
anywhere, anytime. That's the
Yes.
beauty of this.
It is. And thank you so much for touching on that too, about like really just releasing the shoulds and really releasing whatever system is in play that keeps you limited. I
Yeah.
think that's a really important piece to this talk today too. Somebody out there is asking to hear about that. So I think it is just really tuning in, and there we go in the self-trust again, right? The trusting of the self, the trusting of the inner wisdom, the team, if you will. I oftentimes will say spiritual team.
Mhm.
Um, that I listen to, talk to, write to, and it's a spiritual team that will guide me throughout my day. I mean, there will be even points of time when I'm creating a new program and I say, okay, universe, speak right through me. What do people need, want to experience to get more light? And then it comes out in a program. It feels like it's in a snap.
Yes.
And I know that happens for you too. And it's
Yes.
just, yeah. And to me that, to have that access to that higher power of who we are, that inner wisdom, we get to show up and create for others and serve those that we're meant to in this lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I know I've heard before, and I don't know what the exact percentage is, but at one point I heard it was like only 5% that we tap into of this universe, of this benevolent, magnificent, all knowing universe.
Yeah.
And you know what it feels like to tap into it. I know what it feels like to tap into it because it's all just love and light. So when we tap into that, it's like I can get out of the way
Yeah.
and just let it come through. And it's absolutely beautiful what always comes out because it's always exactly what the universe, what people need to hear. So when we can tap into that, when people really start to tap into that, it's like, watch out, world, here
Yeah.
you come. It's
Yes.
amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. So when people know that, it's such a gift.
It
It's
is.
such a gift to be able to work with the universe
Yes.
and and transmute these messages that they want the world to hear.
Absolutely. Oh, you couldn't have said it any more beautiful. That was
Yes.
absolutely exactly
I say thank you, universe.
what exactly.
Let the universe come through.
Exactly. There, see everybody, that was exactly how this works.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Pat, tell everybody where they can find you and your book.
I will. Thank you so much, Renee. So it's Path, PATH, to the number two, and then the word healing.org. So path2healing.org. And you can find my book there. Actually, can I just say quickly too that I have just started, I'm learning Zoom. And so I'm teaching some of my workshops on Zoom now. So there will be more to come in the new year. But for those, I'm so excited to share my works with people near and far.
Yes.
And so check out my website and there'll be more to come in the new year. But I am now doing some of my workshops via Zoom, which I'm so excited
I'm
to be doing.
so happy to hear this.
Me
Yes.
too. Yes.
Your reach is going to be so expansive. I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
A lot
And
to learn.
then,
My thank goodness for the younger generation who has taught me this, but I've kept on going and
yes,
I've gotten it and I have everything that I need to do it. And so I feel very confident with it now. So I'm so
good.
grateful to be doing it. And that was guided by the universe too. It's time to do this. Are you sure? Okay.
Okay, I'll go in with the tech curve. Just guide me
And they
or
showed
bring
me.
in the
So
people to teach me.
exactly.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
thank
Where
you.
can people find Firewalk?
Firewalk is on my website too at
Okay.
thepathtohealing.org, or they can go on Amazon and find it under Patricia Bateson is what I use as a name. And you can find it on Amazon as well or my website. So either of those two places, Renee.
Oh, amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. And everybody listening, Firewalk is an amazing book. I've read it myself 6 years ago when it first came out. I'll reread it again because, I'm going to get different insights and thoughts and ideas from it. A few of my family members have read it as well. I actually, a question popped in my mind. Is it geared more toward women or is it for all genders?
I think there's something in there for everybody. I
Okay.
think there's something in
Awesome.
there. I think there's something in there for everybody. And you just pick it up, browse through, and see if it's for you. And it is on Kindle as well for people who like Kindle.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So it's both versions, but I do believe there's something. I really feel in my heart of hearts there's something in there for everybody. I do.
Oh my gosh, great. Well, everybody, if you haven't checked out Pat's book yet, make sure you do so. It has been an absolute delight and a pleasure to have you on Namaste with Renee again for the second season.
Mhm. Yes.
And thank you so, so much for sharing everything that you did today. It really even just spoke home right for me, ignited some more light in my heart. And just the way you speak is so eloquent and so with grace. And I love everything about you, as you already know. I just love you so very much. And I appreciate you spending your time and energy with all of us today in this episode. And I can't wait to pick up the conversation. So if anybody else wants to hear more from Pat, make sure you check out her website and check out her book, Firewalk, on Amazon or Kindle. Also her website. And yes, lean in because there are some juicy, juicy things on the other side. So namaste. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Many blessings to all of you and many blessings to you, my friend Pat.
I love you, Renee.
I love you.
Take good care.
You as well.